Welcome to TikTok Live. Have fun interacting with your viewers in real time. Creators must be 18 or older to go live. Well, fortunately, that's one thing I don't have to worry about, considering that I'm somewhere around 18 three times over now. No, I said that part. Viewers must be 18 or older. And remember to create a safe viewing experience by following our community guidelines. And we all know what that means. That means don't say naughty words, and especially don't say anything bad about the paid advertisers on TikTok. They really, really don't like that. But yes, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. And we, on this Sunday morning, where I am making breakfast. Boy, isn't that an exciting topic? Well, I'm hoping this is kind of a contrast from all of the other stuff that we see on YouTube Live. These days on YouTube Live, it seems like we've seen almost nothing but political arguments, religious arguments, and people selling cheap crap. So there I go. I've said something about the paid advertisers. But instead, in my case, I am making breakfast. And as it says, we're going to be doing a take on corned beef hash, which means I've got myself the Lodge 14-inch cast iron wok here, and this is different from your typical wok, the kind that you hold in your hand. This thing here weighs like at least 11 pounds or so, and what's more, it's blazing hot, including the handle. So I definitely cannot pick this up and toss the food around. But on the other hand, one nice thing about a thick cast iron wok like this is it gets really, really hot, and you can do a decent stir fry in this. And you can do this even on a cheap stove like most of us have here in the USA. Having said that, let's get started here rather than just talking and talking, which means we just throw in some oil. Spread it around and get the oil good and hot. And as they say in Rick and Morty, away we go. Yeah, we're just doing some sliced yellow potatoes here, and we will then be mixing in some corned beef to make, well, just like it says, corned beef hash. And then from there, we're going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to mix some spinach in with it, because I find the combination of the spinach and corned beef, well, I really, really enjoy it. This particular dish is one of the first ones I kind of like, I shouldn't say invented. Nobody's invented anything in millennia. But I kind of cobbled this recipe together myself. And hello as well to the folks who are kind enough to drop by. I know how it is with TikTok Live. Everybody is just scrolling around looking for something that catches their attention. And I can only hope the sight of potatoes stir-frying in a cast iron wok may catch your attention. Anyway, we just need to do this for probably about 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the most, until the potatoes get soft. And that is like the halfway point. We will then throw in our corned beef hash. Yes, I am using the canned stuff because fresh corned beef is expensive, unfortunately, and this is just, pretty much your cheap Sunday breakfast. And hello, and it says, please share the lives, invite more viewers to share. That would be nice, yes. I think I should also say, I am not asking for gifts or donations. A lot of people do this stuff on TikTok Live for the income, and I'm doing it just because it's a hobby and just to have fun. So you do not have to send gifts. I am not asking for gifts. I'm also not selling anything. I mean, as I mentioned, this is a Lodge cast iron wok that I bought myself back in 2011, which means I've had this in my home, in my kitchen for more than 13 years now. I've been using it almost every week, and I like to think it looks almost as good as new. Although, to be honest, it's actually warped on the bottom, because when I was first learning to use cast iron, I made the mistake that a lot of people do when using cast iron. I heated it up far, far too hot. When cooking in cast iron, in particular on the stovetop, you really only need to heat it to about halfway or so, or maybe 3/4 at the very most, and that is hot enough to get you in there stir fry and just about anything else, even searing a steak. Right at the moment, my stovetop here has a setting of low, and then 2 through 10, and then high. And I am currently at setting number 7, so I'm maybe somewhere around 3/4. Funny thing about that, this stovetop here goes up to 11. I've got low, and then I go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then high. So if low is number 1 and high, and I've got a 9 and a 10 and then high, that means this goes up to 11. So I have Spinal Tap's stovetop, even though, as I just said, I almost never turn it up to 11. Do you not want crispy potatoes? No, I don't. This is going to be a hash, and I want the potatoes to be softened for that reason. Yeah, I mean, corned beef hash is typically the type of leftover dish that they make the day after Thanksgiving, after St. Patrick's Day. And, well, it's really tasty. It's easy to make. I like making it pretty much any time. So, no, these are not going to be home fries. As I said, it's going to be a hash. Especially when I mix the other vegetables in anyway, or the other ingredients, meat and vegetables. That will, again, soften everything, and that is my intention. Them potatoes look wet. That's only because they are frying in oil. I mean, I sliced them up, and then from there they went into the wok here. As I said, I am not trying to crisp these potatoes up. That is intentional. I am not making excuses. And hello, Casey. Well, thank you very much. Really not hard to do. It gives me something to do on a Sunday morning, and it's less expensive than going out, unfortunately. I'll know the potatoes are soft when I can easily cut through them with the spatula, and I think we may already be at that point, in fact. So that sure hasn't taken long, has it? Let me just make sure of that. Yeah, we're doing pretty good here. So I think we are already past step number 1, which means I better season these. Throw in a little salt, ground pepper, and a little bit of minced garlic. And yes, it's true, I use the jarred stuff. Oh no, the world is ending. I use minced garlic in the jar. Come on. I'm just putting the lid back on the jar, but there we go. And now I just have to do this quickly, because I don't want to burn the garlic, of course. Yeah, I have a friend who just commented on that last night. The number one first lesson she learned, well, yeah, the number one first lesson my friend learned when learning to cook was don't burn the garlic. Okay, having done that, now we got another thing to throw in here. Some yummy canned corned beef hash, aka dog food. It looks like dog food. I would not be able to tell you if it tastes like dog food because I've never tasted dog food. There we go. A little bit here. Get it all over the place, why don't I squeeze the can a couple of ways. There we go, to kind of air it out. And let's see if I can get this all out in one piece. This part is always so much fun. It's kind of like peeling your eggs all in one piece. You try to do that and it almost never works out that way. Squeeze the can a little bit more. Nope, it's not going to work, is it? I can see that because the pieces are coming out. Which hopefully means this is quality stuff. As opposed to when it all slides out of the can in one big lump. So, dig myself out a knife, and we'll just do it that way. Yeah, this is the brand stuff, the stuff that doesn't look as much like dog food. So that's good. There we go. And I will say again, yes, I'm using the canned stuff because it's less expensive than fresh corned beef. I mean, typically these days, a 2 to 2.5 package of corned beef in the meat section of the supermarket can run you like, what, $20, $25? Of course, the cost of everything has been going up. I think that can of corned beef now costs about $3 when it was half that a few years ago. Well, that's how it is. Okay, haven't ever had that type of meat. Well, when you mix it in, as I said, the reason why I'm making this is one of my favorite dishes to make. It's delicious. And anyway, I do have a couple of other ingredients to add in as well. But I need to get this stuff good and hot. So anyway, again, this is why I did not crisp the fries. Because as you can see, this meat mixing in with it softens everything. That's also why I use yellow potatoes. If you use russet potatoes in this dish, it all becomes a big mash. Still tastes good. I should also point out that if you use a wok, whether it's a typical light handheld wok or a heavy wok like this, if you're not using a wok shovel, then you absolutely need to run out and get one. These things work wonderful with a wok, much better than a typical spatula. They're designed, of course, to fit the shape of the wok, and just simply using them, it actually feels so much better. And again, I am not selling this. I'm not promoting any products here. I'm telling you from experience. Besides, these particular wok shovels are dirt cheap. You can find them anywhere. They even sell them at Wally World these days, but of course, if you want the genuine item, then you want to go to a Chinese market, where they still sell them dirt cheap. They also sell them wooden as well as metal. So far, so good. Probably more than halfway done with this dish, in fact, already. And dry, 9 is live as a guest. Well, that's good. No onion. I could throw in onions. I personally usually don't. But yes, I agree, onion would go good with this. However, I am now going to put in the next ingredient, which is something not a lot of people add to corned beef hash, and that would be fresh spinach. And that's because I found out the combination of the spinach and the corned beef is wonderful. It really is. It tastes great. And that's why this is one of my favorite dishes to make. I think it tastes really yummy. Also, it gives me an excuse to cook spinach, and you can watch it wilt right in front of your eyes. Which is not going to take long. And yeah, I'm just using very basic seasonings on this dish too. As you saw, I threw in some salt, some pepper, and some garlic. I could indeed use onions, as you said. This is not the type of thing, I think, where ginger would go well with this dish. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I might try it one of these days. But I would think that the taste of ginger does not necessarily go together with the meat and the spinach. Or at least that's my opinion. Though, like I said, I should probably try it. Great way to get your spinach in. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I am one of those people who has loved spinach my entire life. You know, it's like kids are supposed to not like spinach. I always liked spinach. But I guess I was an unfussy eater as I was a kid. I ate broccoli. Of course, that was because Mom always used the story about being a giant eating the little trees. So yeah, I ate broccoli. And spinach. And corn. And all the stuff that kids are generally not supposed to like. Cauliflower. Never had a problem with it. And as you can see, the spinach did not take long at all to wilt up. Which means from here, we are almost done. Now, I only have one more ingredient. And I'm going to throw in some sliced mushrooms. And all we have to do is cook these until the mushrooms, well, they change color and they're done. And then we are done. And yes, again, I did use prepackaged sliced mushrooms. Only because I wanted the convenience. I do like getting packages of whole mushrooms because they cost the same and you get a little bit more. You can typically get an 8-ounce package of sliced mushrooms and a 10-ounce package of whole mushrooms for about the same price, which means all you have to do is chop them up. But so far so good. And more viewers to share. Yes, I know. And hello, Manuka Honey, I think it is. Thank you to everybody who's been kind enough to drop by. As I said, I know you scroll through TikTok Live, something, either it catches your eye or you just scroll away. I'm hoping this catches some folks' eyes. Because it's a tasty breakfast. And it's not me preaching about, about how the Bible predicted the solar eclipse or some BS like that. No, actually, it was scientists who predicted the solar eclipse. I love watching cooking lives. Well, thank you very much, Melissa. Thank you. Yeah, we don't see enough of them here, do we? Most of the time, as I said, there are gamers, which is fine. Or we get these so-called debates here on TikTok Live, which are nothing like that. Basically, it's an echo chamber. You go on there, maybe have some guests on there, and you talk crap about the subject that you want to talk about. Some other folks come on and try to troll you, and you end up kicking them off. And that is the sum of about 99% of debates here on TikTok Live. It doesn't help that TikTok Live also is full of racists. Yes, I'm saying it. TikTok Live is full of racists. But that's all I have to say because I would rather make breakfast. And this is why, again, it's corned beef hash. Everything is all blended together. In fact, maybe I should have even used white potatoes rather than yellow potatoes. Regardless, I would have to say we are probably done at this point. So that means I need to dig out a couple of bowls. There we go. This should be a nice sized bowl. One other thing I better dig out first. Feta cheese. I know it's in here somewhere. I'm hoping, would anybody remember where the feta cheese might be?
I think it's in one of the drawers.
Drawers, okay. Thank you. Let's see if on this thread, pieces. Sour cream. Oh man, I should have dug this out before.
The middle drawer?
Middle drawer. Let me check again. You called it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Had a little trouble finding this. Most people top their corned beef hash with a fried egg. And it is indeed delicious like that. But I like this particular dish with the spinach and everything. I top it with either feta cheese or Greek yogurt. Because I find that taste, again, goes very well with this. So, let's turn off the heat. Serve a bowl. There we go. And finally, as I just mentioned, come on, you know what? Peel this off and try not to drop it all over the place. Because that's the type of thing you like seeing, everybody likes seeing on TikTok Live when someone like me screws up and spills it all over the place. Which is not going to happen if I can help it. There we go. Did it. Which means, just simply, there we go. And breakfast is served. Corned beef and spinach hash topped with feta cheese. As I said, this is one of my favorite stir fries, especially for breakfast. And yes, I very much highly encourage you to give it a try if you've never tried this food combination because, well, it's tasty. And having said that, we have accomplished what we set out to do. Oh, I like the way that, this fits this shape of the wok. But there we go. Breakfast is served. Corned beef hash with spinach, mushrooms, and feta cheese. And I am off now to serve breakfast. So, Have yourself a good day, TikTok. Thank you very much for everybody who's been kind enough to drop by and watch. And we will catch you all later. Have a good morning.